Hi everybody, my name is Nik Kalyani and I'm one of the co-founders of .NET U Corp. And this afternoon I'd like to tell you a little bit more about what you can expect to see in .NET U 5.0, specifically from the perspective of skinning. In order to set your expectations fairly low, I'm going to make sure that I screw up no more than 3 times during this session, all right? Okay. I think before I actually go into some of the features, it's important for everyone to understand where .NET U skinning is and how we made some of the decisions around some of the features that are going into the product. So I will very briefly talk a little bit about that. In order to help me, I'm going to use some characters that you are not familiar with. I'm going to use the PC guy to represent the developer. I'm going to use the Mac guy to represent a designer. So let's look at .NET U skinning from a designer's perspective. So some of the terminology they use is, semantic design, flexible, HTML, search engine optimization, elegant, markup, XHTML, user experience, CSS. So all of this from the developer's perspective comes across as blah, 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 HTML, blah, 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 CSS. They don't speak the same language. So now let's look at it from the developer's perspective. So developers look at it as, controls, ASCX, parsers, skin objects, properties, CSS, server-side, XML, etc. And of course, from the designer's perspective, all of that sounds like blah, blah, blah gibberish, right? But sorry?
I'm sorry, is that, the arrow is supposed to be pointing to the designer, right?
No, it's the right direction. So, see, that's what happens. It's when there's developers and designers, it's very confusing. So, it's my point exactly. So, how many in the audience here are designers? Can I get? All right, so there's no designers on this side? Wow, someone needs to go on this side. All right. So while .NET U skinning is very powerful and flexible, this difference in perspective has proven to be a hurdle for designers. And the most successful skin designers in the ecosystem today, the ones that have possibly a business or even sell skins commercially, those are ones who have acquired some developer skills. So they have had to sort of reach out on the other side and get some of those developer skills in order to be really successful in developing skins. And they develop technical understanding of .NET U, and they have to become familiar with terms that they ordinarily would not care about. XML, ASP.NET User Controls, even troubleshooting .NET U. So, and of course, there's developers with design quote-unquote skills, but we won't go there. But we understand this problem, and we really see it as an opportunity to improve and make .NET U skinning even better than it is today. So what we want to do is really focus on what designers know best. And of all that terminology you saw out there, there's 2 things that stood out, HTML and CSS. And so what you're going to see is in the future, we emphasize more of those skills in .NET U skinning and require less of any other skills from designers. Now, if the market demands other skills, that's a different story. But from our perspective, we're going to focus more on HTML and CSS. We intend to make .NET U skinning simpler, more flexible, and powerful, while appealing to many more web designers. See, there's multitudes of designers out there that have not made the crossover. They don't want to mess with the XML stuff. They don't care about controls, etc. And we'd really like them to be designing really cool skins for the .NET U platform. So the changes we are making are designed to encourage that to happen, and also to greatly improve the productivity level of designers who are already creating skins for .NET U. So this is our primary goal for .NET U 5.0 skinning enhancements. Now, in the course of my presentation today, I'm going to focus on 4 things. Some of them are not fully baked, so I'll let you know when they're not fully baked. Some of them I think are fully baked, but it may turn out they're not fully baked as we go through the demo. So we'll find that out. So the first and foremost thing is simpler skin object syntax. So everyone who really likes XML as a skin designer, raise your hand. That's exactly what I expected. So you'll like this feature. Client-side widgets, so skin-based widgets that run in the browser. Flexible style sheets. We'd like to start giving designers more standard-based style sheets in order to sort of start having standard skins in the ecosystem. So people are working on inventing new things versus inventing the same wheel over and over again. So you'll see that that's a very interesting feature. And also, this is my most favorite thing, is WYSIWYG design. We really like to give designers the ability to design without even installing their skin in .NET. So it's ambitious, and we'll get to how that's going to be accomplished. All right, so let's start. So today, when you want to install a skin object, which is how the extensibility model works for .NET with regard to plugging things into skin, you do what's on the left there. You have some HTML markup, and you put a token. In addition, in order to tell the .NET Skin parser what you want that skin object to look like, you create a separate XML file which sets all the respective properties. Now, most of the skin designers I talked to, they, at the early onset, took the DNN blue skin XML, customized it, and then never touched it, and told all their staff, don't touch it, don't mess with it, or you die. So, because it's troublesome and tricky for them to get it right, and so they left it at that. So, in keeping with the philosophy of sticking more with HTML and CSS in .NET 5.0, here's what we are saying. Goodbye XML, hello HTML. Now, just so to reassure everyone, we always remain backwardly compatible, but forward-looking, we are going to emphasize HTML and not XML. So the way we do it, and I have two examples here. The first one is the exact same search skin object. Most of you at some point or the other will have embedded a Flash movie in your HTML. You use an object tag for that. It's a standard W3C standard element. And the object tag is very versatile, and it's perfectly suited for this purpose. So starting with .NET 5.0, we will support object syntax in the skin HTML that will allow you to define a complete skin object and all its properties right there in the HTML, no external XML required. So the way that works is you essentially tell the HTML parser that the fact that it is a .NET Nuke server-side skin object by specifying the code type value there. And then there's a code base value, which is you set to the same value as your token. So our goal was to keep this very consistent and simple. And so all skin objects will essentially have the exact same syntax. You would just change the code base value to tell it which skin object to use. In terms of parameters, easy. Just add as many parameter names and values as you want, and that will depend on the skin object. So with that done, you're set. The skin object will now be parsed and activated just as it is right now in .NET Nuke. A new skin object we're introducing is the text skin object. This is a very versatile skin object because it will allow you to not only inject localized text into your skin, but also have lots of values that are previously not available, or you had to have various hacks to get them into your skin, which is by way of the token feature. So in this particular example, you can see that for the value of text, I'll put welcome to, and in brackets, portal name. That's one of the standard tokens we support, and there's a few of them. I believe there's upwards of 20, maybe more. But you can drop that into your skin, and it will be replaced dynamically at runtime with the appropriate value. The resource key feature is tied to localization. So what that means is if you use the standard localization concepts in .NET Nuke by creating a separate file for your localized text, this particular